Once again, Ottawa is attempting to set policies that are short-sighted and reckless. This fall, the federal government plans to table regulations that would set mandatory targets with irresponsible timeframes for upstream oil and gas and liquefied natural gas facilities. Ottawa says they're working to cut emissions, but we all know that's what they're really doing is cutting production of oil and gas. And this, by extension, will cut jobs and revenues across the country.
We will not stand by while the federal government threatens tens of thousands of jobs while flushing billions in revenue down the drain. It's time to tell the feds to scrap the cap. Enough is enough. This production cap will kill tens of thousands of jobs and will lead our province and country into economic and societal decline. It means risking reliable, secure, affordable energy for Canada, and it will make every aspect of our lives less affordable as it craters our economy.
As of August of this year, Alberta's upstream energy sector employed about 148,000 people. If the federal government goes ahead with the proposed cap, in just 6 years, we could see almost all of those jobs disappear. Why should Canada stand on the sidelines of this incredible industry and opportunity when we are one of the most responsible, if not the most responsible, producer in the world?
Well, this matters to people in Newfoundland. It matters in Saskatchewan. It matters in BC, where natural gas, as the Premier said, is a large part of their economy as well. And so this campaign, really the thought behind it is how do you make it real for people so that they stand up and tell this federal government, who quite frankly just has this tendency to ignore the very real feedback they're hearing from Canadians, that it's time to scrap this cap. And you know, I said more intense things yesterday when I suggested maybe it's also time for an election. But I think that's what Canadians are saying, again, right across our country. But this campaign is about making it real for everyday people.
I would say that taking this kind of approach, which would impact a sector of our economy that is responsible for over $200 billion worth of national GDP, having the kind of extraordinary impacts that we're talking about in job losses, loss of GDP, loss of tax revenue, they simply don't have a mandate to do it. So we're just reminding them and asking the other premiers to also be vocal, especially since there are other jurisdictions that would be equally impacted by this kind of emissions cap, because as we've seen from some of the reports that I mentioned, it really is a production cap for them to be moving along this fast.